So the other day, I was checking my emails and saw that New York Botanical Garden was promoting their new Goth Gardener collection. So I wanted to share it with you all today. Hello, hello, and welcome to the Gothic jungle. So, New York Botanical Garden recently celebrated their corpse flower blooming, which is really exciting because it is such a rare occasion. Their first bloom, like corpse flowers' first bloom, can take anywhere from 7 to 10 years after reaching maturity, and then any subsequent blooms happen once every 4 to 5 years. Also, it's really exciting because fewer than 10 corpse plants bloom in the US every year, and there are fewer than 1,000 in existence, so it is a very endangered species, which is why this is such a cool and important event. I wish I could have been there to see it bloom, but I have to go to work every day, so I can't exactly pop over to New York City for an afternoon. But this leads me to believe that the event was the inspiration for their Goth Gardener merch collection. So I wanted to go through the collection today to see what I like or dislike about the items, because with something called the Goth Gardener collection, how can I not share it on this channel? So without further ado, let's get started. So starting off, I just want to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what the collection actually looks like. It's not anything particularly like, oh my gosh, this is the most fashionable thing in the world, but they do have some really cool designs, which is why I thought it was worthy of a little video here. But I do kind of like what their curated collection is here. I think it's really cool that they have bat boxes. I did not know that was a thing, and I really enjoy their selection of pots that they have. I thought that was also a really nice touch as well. Now, starting off with their corpse flower tea, which I have a bit of a critique on, I feel like they could have done so much better with this. I know it's just quick merch that could be easily produced and distributed, since the collection isn't really the main focus, the actual plants are, but still I feel like they could have made the graphic bigger, or that red just a little bit more rich, like what you see in the illustration. That being said, I do really like that they put the botanical name on the shirt along with the botanical illustrations. I really like that a lot of this collection is taking inspiration from botanical illustrations. I think that makes it just a little bit more interesting to look at. I know I said that this is kind of like quick graphics that they can put together, but just having that little bit of extra thought behind even simple merch like this really does make a difference. Next, moving on to what I think is their strongest t-shirt design, the mushroom t-shirt. I love that the front isn't just the plain text logo. In particular, I like that they added a little bit of that back graphic on there. Just having that little bit of mushroom and then that little change in font is really a nice thing to see. I love the layering of the back graphic with the Goth Gardener text along with the split up mushroom design. I still love that they included that figure number in there as well. It really makes you kind of allude to that drawing that they had there, and I really like it. Next, this shirt I think is my favorite graphic out of all of them. I really enjoy this flower. I think it looks so interesting and bat-like, and I can see why it's named the thing that it's named. I like that they tried to do something dynamic with the text, but I'm not fully sold on the warped text at the top. I can kind of understand on a man's silhouette where it's the broad shoulders, that would look nice up there, but I kind of prefer what they did with the mushroom t-shirt where it's printed all over it, so it's not just at the top, or if they had maybe moved it down a little bit to have that more interesting depth in the t-shirt, I think that could have been interesting. But I still think it looks really good, and honestly, I do really like this shirt. I like the purpley plant. I mean, it's a goth plant. Of course, it's gonna catch my eye. Now, this bag I think is my favorite item in this entire collection. I am very tempted to buy it despite it being ridiculously expensive. But I just love this bag. I love the plant that they chose. I love the colors that they use. I love the background color of, what the plants are displayed on. I love that green text that they have there on the bag. I love that it says New York Botanical Garden at the bottom, and that just perfectly lines up with the image. It is just such a beautiful bag. It looks cool. I just love it so much. It is definitely my favorite thing. I have no notes. I have no critiques. I definitely really like it, and I might buy it for myself. I don't know. I want a gift card at work that's a Visa gift card, so I might use it on that just to negate the cost a little bit, but I really, really love this bag. This next hoodie, I think, is another one of their really, really strong designs. I think the snake is such a cool graphic to have, and I love the way that it really, really takes up space on the hoodie. I also think that it's interesting that they chose the snake all just coiled up because it kind of contrasts with the boxiness of like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, like that general silhouette. So that contrast creates an interesting graphic to look at. I also really like on the front, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I like that they spelt out New York Botanical Garden instead of just having the NYBG acronym on the front. I think it just makes it a little bit more interesting. Because I mean, a logo of like a shorthand is like cool or whatever, but once it's all spelled out, then like if someone sees your t-shirt, they're like, oh, what is that? So I do like this design a lot, and I think it's kind of secondary to that mushroom t-shirt in terms of how strong the design is and how interesting it is. And for the last design that I want to go through today is the Skelly t-shirt. Honestly, I think it's really cool, and I like that they layered it over a little bit. I do wish that they leaned more into the color that they used. I kind of wanted it to just be like a more of an explosion with the plants, but I still really enjoyed it. And again, I like that they included the graphic on the front with the logo. I do really like skulls, obviously, so I think it's a very nice way to tie in really people that really like bright colors, but they also like a little hint of spookiness. So I think it's still a good design. I just think it could have been a little stronger. I feel like if they had gone for more color, like just really lean into it. But I still liked it. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. I know this video was a little bit short, but like I said in the beginning and throughout this video, it was just too on brand for me to not share it with you guys and talk about it on this channel. So I hope you saw something that you liked. Maybe you were like, oh, that's a cool design. Maybe you found a new flower or mushroom that you liked. Who knows? But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Video's over now, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!